what lies ahead. And to share his views on the same, they're being joined by a defense and security expert, an international TEDx speaker, Major Dr. Muhammad Ali Shah, a veteran. But before I welcome him on the stage, I just want to know that any idea. So I've been told he has delivered the most TEDx talks across the globe. Any idea how many? A random guess. No, this is not about everybody. Any random guesses? How many TEDx talks has he delivered across the globe? No, I want to know. Random guess. Take a guess, sir.
500.
500. I love the optimism, sir. But over 100. Please join me in welcoming Major Dr. Muhammad Ali Shah. Sir. Oh, louder one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Jai Hind. I want to first ask you all that how many of you have never experienced fear in your entire life? There was a Lebanese poet called Khalil Gibran. He wrote these 4-5 lines from the Prophet on fear. And what he wrote was, it is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, across the peaks of the mountains, the long winding roads, crossing forests and villages. And in front of it, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter seems nothing more but to disappear forever. But there's no looking back. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river now has to take the risk of entering the ocean. Because it is now that fear will disappear, and the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the changing face of security, firstly, I'd like to give the example of my dear friend, Veena. Veena is not here right now, but I'm sure she is abroad right now. She wants to be here. She's in US, and I'm sure she's watching us live from there. Hi, Veena. So, Veena is known as the lady bodyguard of the country, So when we see, people used to imagine a bodyguard or security would be rippled muscles, bouncers coming in, and big hulks, 6-footers coming in. They would be security guards, martial artists, black belt, here to fight. But I'm here not to advise you all. You all are very, very big security experts. I will share what I personally believe and what I speak on television, on the news channels. I'll tell you what I believe in. So I believe security is not about bronze, it's about brains. I'm sure you all will agree with me on that. I feel it's not about building walls, but building connections. Like we had Deputy Commandant Yadav here from the CSO from JNU. He said, Unka bhi kaam ho jaye, hamara bhi kaam ho jaye, and both parties it worked. So it's about brains. Like, we all saw on 27th February 2019, Group Captain, that time Wing Commander Abhinandan Vartaman, who had crash landed into Pakistan when he was flying a MiG-21 Bison aircraft. Well, we all heard that. I'm not supposed to tell you that. So it's not about the machine only, it's about the man behind the machine. And the two major challenges that the world is facing today are not, I think it's not about Russia-Ukraine war, Hamas, Israel, or China-Taiwan. It's about artificial intelligence and natural stupidity. And if we rely on the number one, then we'll become more and more stupid. But we have no choice. We have to rely on it, and we will think very, very positively about how AI can shape the security and our future. So when we talk about threats, it's not about normal threats. We all got to know on last year, in fact, on 17th, 18th September, Lebanon, Syria, we all heard about the famous cyber attacks. Cyber attacks, what do we understand? We understand that it will hack our servers and it's gone. Imagine thousands of the people getting wounded, many people dying, many casualties in a cyber attack. How can you have a casualty, a physical casualty, in a cyber attack? But it did happen with walkie-talkies, pagers, a new form of attack. So the enemy now, I think, is not just across the border or somebody who will come at night to harm us. It's probably in our pockets, in our mobiles. Who's there to hack us? Would you agree with me on that or not? I'll share a small story with you. I don't want to repeat because most of the panelists, most of the speakers have spoken already about so many enlightening things. I'll share a small story of human connection. Not about bronze. Well, I would not say about brains either, but probably having your wits about yourself, and not panicking in that situation and just being calm, cool and composed. How many of you have had, I would say, honor, I've had the honor of losing my iCard, sir. How many of you have had the honor of being kidnapped? How many of you have been taken hostage? How many of you? Okay, it happened to me. So I think that's a very, very big, you would say, oh my goodness, that's a breach of security, how did it happen? And let me tell you all, let me assure you one thing. We all came out from there without a scratch, without being harmed. Let me tell you the story. Sound interesting? Okay. I had come to Delhi from Nagaland. I was serving with the Assam Rifles there. And I have this very strong affection and affinity towards the northeast part of India. I personally believe the people over there are very, very cultured, very, very principled, men of their word, very hardworking, honest, and they don't cheat you. I literally love them. So I've spent a lot of my childhood parts, memories of in Manipur, Nagaland, because my father too was in the army and he had several tenures in the northeast. So I had come to Delhi to lead the Assam Rifles Republic Day Parade contingent. We had gone back to Nagaland, month of March, and we were coming down from Kohima to Dimapur. About 62 kilometers stretch, hilly area. When you come down from Dimapur, from Kohima, you cross a place called Medzifema, Ghaspani, and thereafter you come to Chumukdima. And after Chumukdima is Dimapur. And obviously the mobile networks don't work stretch from Kohima to at least Medzifema. It never used to work that time. I'm talking about 2008. And suddenly we got an SMS. Well, not from a hacker, don't worry. It was a normal, regular, genuine SMS from the airline saying that our flight has been delayed by another 3 hours because, as you all know, the weather changes in the northeast very fast. So now what do we do? I said, sir, here, I know this area. I had the honor of being ADC to the Corps Commander over here. And there's a very fine hill over here, very beautiful hill. Let's go there. And there's a beautiful waterfall over there. And if it rains, there could be a rainbow which would be formed over there. Let's go there. Fine, we took a consensus and we went there. As we were going up, and we made a grave mistake, we violated some norms. The instructions from the orders from the IG, the Inspector General of the Assam Rifles, IGR North, were very, very clear that not more than 2 officers will travel in one gypsy. For obvious reasons. So we were 4 officers and 1 non-commissioned officer, NCO, Havildar Thapa, who was driving the gypsy. As we were climbing up the hill, something came and fell on a white, hard-top gypsy right when we were at the foothill. And the whole gypsy shook. And the next second, what do we see? We see a man in combat dress sitting on the bonnet of the gypsy with his long barrel weapon. He had broken the windscreen and he had pointed his weapon on Havildar Thapa. And immediately we said, we are friends, don't shoot, we are friends, don't shoot. And they got us out from the gypsy. 1 meter away, 5-6 men appeared in combat dress, wearing herbs, bushes, leaves on them. On the left side, again, 4-5 guys appeared. We were blindfolded. Our hands and legs were tied. And as we all learned in academy that never show your back towards the enemy or never kneel down before an enemy, but here, honestly, it was a situation where we were helpless. We were 5 of us, we were kneeling down, our hands and eyes were tied. But one thing I must appreciate, and that's why I call them worthy opponents, they didn't misbehave with us. Though imagine respectfully tying us up, but yet not misbehaving with us. And their self-styled company commander, Major Tumsa Ao, I still remember very, very clearly, he said, "Gentlemen, don't worry, we will not harm you all." And he stood before us, and the orders came on a set from his commander, who was a lady from Ukrul, a Tangkul lady. And since I understand Tangkul, and the orders were, there was ceasefire in Nagaland, which means there was an agreement. Of course, we all know that we would not fire upon the NSCNIM or NSCNK, and they would not fire upon us. And the commander said, "Shoot them all, kill them, finish them right now. Forget about the ceasefire, we'll take care of that. Finish them." And I understood. So Major Tumsa, cutting a very long story short, I see the timer ticking, that's why. He says, "Gentlemen, I'm very sorry, my commander has asked me to shoot you all. So it will only take 2 minutes, please cooperate with me." So we were like, and next to me was our RMO. I think the bravest of us all. He whispered in my ears, "Hey, Ali, thank you for getting us over here, yeah. Whatever happened over here now, after another 2 minutes, I'm very grateful to you, yeah. Whatever happened, I'm really enjoying it, yeah. Good fun." So shut up, keep quiet. Goli aane wale, marne wale hain tum. Chup raho. "Okay, gentlemen, remember God." And a firing squad comes and stands behind us. They cock their weapons. "Say your prayers and get ready to die like a man. Squad ready!" And the squad from behind says, "Ready, sir. 1, 2. And just then, I believe to operate in any area, not just in J&K or in Northeast, you have to know the geography, demography, topography, history, about the terrain, wherever you're deployed. So fortunately, I was, Alidia, how are you? Fortunately, I speak Nagamese. So I learned it while I was doing ADC there, and I had the honor of doing HC to 2 co-commanders, because the next co-commander is HC were coming late. So I officiated there. So I said, "I will come down. So he was shocked. How come he's speaking my language? And then he's, "Hey, how come he's speaking my language? Open him. They opened me and I looked at him. And that's the time there was a human connection. I mean, they didn't see us as, we were unarmed, of course, in civil dress. They didn't see us as soldiers. They saw us as human beings. And cutting a very long story short again, they made vai noodles for us. You know what vai. They made tea for us, and I must say the tea was fantastic. And we were released from there without a scratch. And so my take is, the future of security, we have to have an understanding. There was a time when, जी, है सर बोलिए। फोन पे। So the future of security is not changing. Like we all saw on 2nd January 2020, General Qasem Soleimani, the Chief of Army Staff of Iran, he was attacked in Baghdad by the US UAV pinpoint while he was going as convoy. So UAVs. So security is not about an AI or a machine. AI will intercept the threat. They will tell you. It's human beings, as General Soy rightly said. Human beings will always be superior to AI. It's the human beings, the human touch, which will ultimately give results. An AI or a machine can tell you a threat. We as human beings can prevent it. We can prevent a war from happening. We know what's to be done. As Brigadier John rightly, what a presentation, sir. I must say, honestly, sir, That's the best keynote address I've ever seen in my entire life, not in a conclave only. And he mentioned about AI, he mentioned about deepfake. When Ops Sindoor, sir, you spoke so passionately about Ops Sindoor, when Ops Sindoor, you know about this, when Ops Sindoor was on, that time Pakistani news channels took my screenshot from NDTV and played it on their news channel as a big villain in Pakistan. Where I wrote an open letter to Jaish-e-Mohammed, the terrorist outfit. I wrote it on 14th February 2019, and I wrote it now on 22nd April this year, which had gone viral. So I consider it to be a big compliment. So security, apni hifadat, apne haath. Thank you very much. Any question I would be very happy to take on, please. Yeah. In Nagamese, oh, I said we are friends. Don't shoot us. And then, not just in Nagamese. I started speaking to him in his language, in his dialect, since he was from the Ao tribe. Nagaland, the Aos are from Mokokchung, the Ngamis are from Koima, the Khama, the Konyaks are from Mon, Twinsang, the Lothas are from Bokha, the Semas are from Dhunoboto. So, they are Ziliang, the Ringmas, the different tribes. To know कौन सी क्षेत्र से कौन सी tribe है और कौन सी tribe किससे दोस्त है. So I spoke to him now, in the Aos, there's Chunkli and there's Changli. And then there's Mungsun. So I spoke to him in Mungsun. I told him, Metumsao, Kumalir, Chungalir, Chugatalir, Nakulir, NFC, I am Mutun Kalumir, Dr. Petrina Memetin, Nina Menmer, which meant we are friends, we love you. Don't harm us. If you harm us, you'll have to pay for it. So that's what I told him.
Just wanted to know that, what I see that you're international TEDx speaker, right? Just give your experience. What do you do? On what topics do you speak? If I may ask if you have.
Sure, sir. Why not?
Because your presence is really great.
Thank you.
Really proud of you.
Sir, thank you, sir. So are we of you, sir. Very kind of you to say that.
In 2 minutes, can you just give us what you do for Manipur?
In 2 minutes, what? Beg your pardon, sir?
What you do for Manipur?
What I do for Manipur? Well, I don't do for Manipur, sir. Manipur ne hum sabke liye kiya hai. They have, it's a state which has contributed a great deal in nation building. We have the greatest sportsmen like Mary Kom, Mirabai Chanu from Manipur. We had Ratan Dhyam, who we lost recently. So, the first thing I learned in Manipuri was, I Nanganumshi. Lady is laughing over there. So, that's the first thing I learned in Manipur. And in fact, I had the honor of interviewing Brigadier John. Brigadier John was the Deputy GOC 57 Div in Manipur and Limapong. And 3rd May, 3 years back when the violence broke out, he was the officiating GOC there. The whole night, his number had gone viral to helplines, and the whole night, sir, was, and he was out there. Big for that.
The thing is not about me, please. The fact of the matter is that why I asked him this question is, for all of you in this audience, you should know, this young man has given at least 150 interviews on Manipur and how the problem can be resolved. And the best part is, constantly, unbiasedly, he's been taking this stand with a lot of threats coming to him. So hats off to this man.
Thank you. Very kind of you. My biggest honor, in fact, I gave an interview to NDTV about it, and I said, I was recently awarded the Director General Assam Rifles Commendation Card after 18 years of hanging up my uniform. Thank you very much. Not for some work I did 18 years back, of course, it was something which I did now, which I felt I wasn't very deserving of it. But anyhow, the DG was kind enough to have awarded me on the spot. And I think I would be one of the few veterans, in fact, who would have got this honor. So I gave an interview to the NDTV saying that, इससे बढ़कर honor मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं सकता, Padma Shri Padma Bhushan से बढ़कर है मेरे लिए, because for 2 main reasons. First, I got it as a veteran. Secondly, I got it from a part of India which is very, very close to my heart, from the northeast part of India. And in the Assam Rifles, we had Maites, we had Kukis, we had Nagas, we had Chakmas from Mizoram, we had Mizos, we had, we had Garos, Khasi, we had Jaintias, we had Apadami tribe, we had, you name the tribe of Northeast, we had everyone from everywhere. And we all coexisted together. In fact, I had the honor of meeting Colonel Dinesh.